Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading. This is your August bonus reading, and we are just going to jump right in here, Libra. You start off with the Fox and this Nightingale card. This Nightingale card is like my favorite card in this deck. It's a card of kind of like unlimited potential. You can see there's this tiny little bird like sitting on top of this gigantic egg. And it kind of says there's more inside of you than you realize. You could accomplish, so much more than you realize as well. So I do feel it could be like a great time of accomplishment. The Fox is a card of kind of blending into an energy. Foxes are like considered to be able to blend into energy. I don't know where I was going with that. Other than, in the Ted Andrews book, Animal Speaks, he talks about how the fox, like he had a friend who saw a fox before a party, and his friend went to this party and pretended to be invisible, and people kept sitting on his friend all night because he kept imagining himself as invisible. So it's like the fox medicine, is a energy of acting as if, just blending into the energy of something that you want. You could even appear to be bigger than you actually are, just like this Nightingale here. So I kind of feel this reading is talking about you experimenting with potential, or what your potential actually is. We're talking about the things that, what you think you can accomplish, and, all this other stuff. So seems to be like a very powerful reading, I would say, and I would say it's all about you, which is a good thing. You do have the Knight of Cups here. If you want love, I do see love here. Is it a major focus? I would say no. But you do have the Two of Cups. You have this card, Nine of Cups. You have the Four of Pentacles as well. So, and the Page of Pentacles. I would say this is a new person, new communication, so if you want love. For most of you, though, I feel that the Knight of Cups can be a dream. He's normally kind of like looking into that cup. He's imagining his reality. He is scrying. He's visualizing his future. And so I feel a lot of you, now would be a good time of visualization. You have this King of Pentacles here. You also have the Page of Pentacles. Both cards to me represent, finances, but number one, the King of Pentacles is a card of kind of increasing your finances through the skills that you have. Normally, he has these grapes on his cloak on the traditional King of Pentacles, and it kind of represents his, like some sort of skill that he has, and he needs to use those skills to be more successful. So I feel that for a lot of you is that, you could have certain talents, gifts, skills, or abilities that you need to use, or, you have these skills at your disposal, and you need to use more of your skills that you actually have, things that you're good at, or these could be hidden talents, gifts, skills, or abilities. The Page of Pentacles would represent the how. Page of Pentacles is about learning more. It's like you could be really good at jumping rope, but unless you know how to turn that into something more, you're not going to. And trust me, I guarantee you there's a person that makes $1 million a year jumping rope. I guarantee it. I guarantee you there's someone on YouTube who like sells an exercise program, jumping rope. I promise you. So if you think that sounds ridiculous, I promise you it exists. So, again, it doesn't matter how ridiculous you think your idea is. Again, if you learn how to exercise a skill and turn it into something more, I feel it could lead to a lot of success. So the Page of Pentacles is, encouraging self-exploration, but also, educating yourself on how you could turn something into more. That's really what I'm getting here. And again, I feel like this here, right here, this Nightingale, again, you can see this tiny little bird on top of this gigantic egg. I feel it's saying something in your life has a lot more potential than you realize, but you're not going to discover it, if you don't start looking for it, if you don't start, finding a reason to make it happen, right? So, that's what I would be doing here, but let's see. With the Knight of Cups, you have the Four Wands. I mean, could be marriage potential coming in for you. You might be a little icked out by love at the moment. You have the Nine of Swords right next to this with the Two of Cups, and then you have the Four of Swords here. It is showing up in the good stuff, but I don't know. That to me looks a little bit back and forth-ish, right? Not sure what you want to do. There could be a person who comes in and changes that. We'll have to see what comes up in the rest of the reading. What I would also say is that this here, you go from the Four Wands, you have the Judgment card, to the Four of Pentacles here, and this could represent setting yourself free from something. The Four Wands is my card of freedom. It is a card of freedom. There are plenty of tarot books that could talk about the Four Wands being a card of freedom. It is, the people are celebrating on the other side of those Four Wands because they have completed something. They have been set free from some sort of, project they've been working on. It's a card of completion as well. So it's like freedom in that sense, that they've been set free from something they've been working towards or working on for a very long period of time. And I do feel that for you, Libra. With the King of Pentacles, you have the Five Wands. I think we need to ignore competition right now. I think this is true for everyone. It's like, I'm not saying there isn't competition, but it just says don't look at it as competition. Just do your work, head down, nose to the grindstone, as they say, and just put in the work. I wouldn't be worrying about, things that you think are competition, especially in work or business. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the Eight of Swords. Yes, learn, basically. Eight of Swords is self-imposed restriction. But as I always say, with the Eight of Swords, we could easily set ourselves free. It's a card of self-imposed restriction, but it also just says you are only looking at one way of doing things. Again, if all you're doing is jumping rope in your backyard, then no one can see you jumping rope. Nobody can see that you're the world champion of jumping rope. You have to put that on YouTube. You have to start a podcast talking to other jump ropers. You have to, do all this other stuff. So I would get moving here. Same thing with love. It's like you might think that you deserve love and that you're a great lover, but until you actually go out and meet a person, it means nothing. And I kind of feel like that's what this reading is saying. It's like saying, but it's also like saying, hey, there's a bunch of potential that you don't want to waste right now. So, I would use this potential. You have this karmic cycle card. It says past money choices are forcing you to handle your karmic financial debts. I would say not even just money. I think that we are in a karmic time. I mean, whenever we have retrogrades as well, and we're also in between eclipses, we have this next set of eclipses in October. Leo King calls this fate train time, right? When it's in between eclipses. So, I think we can experience a lot of karmic stuff. You have this card that says you're stepping into a brand new chapter. Yes, a much better life. Something where there's more options, but I also feel, like I've said to others, I think we're entering into a time, or we are in a time of empty space, meaning that there's a lot of empty spaces, around us, and this empty space needs to be filled, but it needs to be filled with our good ideas, our plans, things that have potential, and all this other stuff. But the problem with empty space is it's like a blank canvas. We don't know, where to start. And, so I feel for a lot of us, we're stepping into these new chapters, but we have to do this right here. We have to face our fears. You have the Nine of Swords, the Judgment card, and the Hermit. Again, the Hermit, we're going to talk about this in a minute, but traditionally, the Hermit has his star in a lantern, and he's kind of keeping it hidden inside the lantern. And I always say he needs to blast his star out all over the place. He has earned his right to do that. He went through Dark Night of the Soul. He's done some soul searching. He's at the top of the mountain. So he's earned his right to, shine his light, but he has to actually do it. He has to open that up. And the Nine of Swords, I feel, could be past experiences or karmic cycles that you're worried about. Maybe you're worried that you were criticized for something in the past, in love or business. And it's now you're afraid to put things out is what I feel here, but I feel like you need to do it anyway. Feel the fear and do it anyway. You have the Judgment card. Judgment card would absolutely be a new chapter in your life. The people in on a traditional Judgment card are raising up from the coffins. Inside the coffin is their old life. Outside their coffin is their new life. So they kind of are stepping into a new life, or they need to step into their new life to be more successful. I forgot to say this, by the way. This is the Forager's Daughter Tarot, if you're wondering what the name of this deck is. But, again, I feel for some of you, you're entering into this new life, but it's going to require this. You have to set yourself free. One way to read the Hermit is that his feet are frozen at the top of that mountain. So he could easily put his lantern down by his feet and he would also be set free. And, there is an element of you needing to, it's you need to move towards something. I feel like you need to explore the possibilities of something more, especially if you feel like something has potential. For most of you, I feel this is a skill, like we were talking about with the King of Pentacles, that could be very profitable, could start a business, but it also, could help you get a career, or it could be something that you do in your career already, and you could be doing it more, right? So, that's for some of you. For a small percentage of you, I do feel it's love as well. It could be something else that you're working on, personal projects. Even if you're retired, you could be, working on a personal project or just learning about something you're interested in. I think now is the time to explore that. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, it's time to see the other side of life. Those are the words that I'm getting here. And so I feel it's time to experience the other side of life, or, something different. It's almost like there's a change going on here. I don't feel any of the traditional Two of Pentacles meanings on that card. With the Judgment card, you have the King of Wands. Curveball, you always get fire. So definitely could be a fire sign coming in for those of you that want love. If you don't want love, or if you don't want fire, it could be any sign, general reading. But also what I was saying is if you don't want love, To me, he represents treating something like a baby. He's a very nurturing king, the King of Wands, but it's different than like the King of Cups. He is entrepreneurial. He really treats things like he really cares about the things that he's working on. So it doesn't matter what you're working on. It doesn't have to be a business, but as long as you stay focused and you really put that work in, you will be successful. But I mean, we go this way. We go up to the Two of Cups. It's like you literally could be finding someone in your life. With the Hermit, you have the Four of Swords. I feel like you've been recovering from a dark night of the soul, so, maybe it's been a challenging time, and, part of the Four of Swords, if it wants to focus, is kind of like hoping to receive blessings. So I do feel some of you are in this position where you're hoping to, receive some blessings, or you've been praying for some blessings to enter into your life here. Next, you have this conch shell. It says, messages from beyond communication. You have this dolphin. It says, embrace your inner child, have fun. I mean, like every single person has had something about being more playful, embracing your inner child. So it definitely seems to be that time. I say that, I always pay attention to the energy, and I do feel the energy has gotten very serious. So, I think whenever this happens, the universe is like, no, you need to start moving in the other direction. You need more play. You need to have more fun. You need to enjoy yourself more. And that's kind of what I feel is going on here, is the universe is saying like, hey, it's time to have more fun, time to enjoy yourself, time to do the things you love. You have the Two of Cups, the Nine of Cups, and the Four of Pentacles. The Two of Cups is a perfect match, so this definitely could be love that's coming in for you here, and it could be a perfect match that's coming in for you. So if you want love, I would just be playful, and again, I would take your time. We do have these retrogrades. I don't think we should allow, astrology to control our lives. As I always say, astrology is not a prison sentence, but, again, I would take your time. I mean, this particular Venus retrograde is a doozy, so is a Mercury retrograde. I've already had a bunch of issues, right? So I would say, keep it lighthearted, playful. Don't over-invest during this time, and if you notice things, by the way, here's the thing with retrogrades, if you notice warning signs from the past, I mean, not as in a person coming back from the past, but if you're dating a new person, talking to a new person, and they are displaying traits that a past person did, guess what? Probably a warning from the retrograde. Probably saying, don't do this. This is a repeat of exactly what you did last time. So, again, as long as you pay attention, I don't even think that's going to happen, because this looks good to me if you're attracting love. But, again, if that does happen, then walk away. You have the Nine of Cups here, definitely wish fulfillment. The Nine of Cups is an energy of fulfillment, but it's like needing to be fulfilled. I always say with the Nine of Cups, the true meaning of the Nine of Cups is that the guy on the card is chubby, and he's chubby because he's about to have a feast, but it says he's having a feast because he has already had a feast before. That's why he is chubby, because he's had many feasts. And it basically says that if you have to be in the energy of something you want before you can have it. And, so if you want love, you have to go be in love. And people always say, how is that possible? And I always say, go love a dog, go love a cat, go love nature, go love your hobby, go jump rope in the backyard. Like I said, whatever it is that you love, go and do it. Be more in love. If you want money, same thing. Go pick up pennies in the parking lot. People think I'm kidding, but it's like, who knows how many hundreds of dollars are in a parking lot? Probably a lot, right? And if you go and get it and get abundance, you're grateful for it. The universe is like, well, here's more, and we'll just bring more. You have the Four of Pentacles here, and the Four of Pentacles is kind of like holding on too tightly to something. I feel like this is it's in the area of the good stuff. You have the Five of Swords here. So this row is going to be good no matter what, but I do think you need to take a risk of exposing yourself, not literally, but we're talking about, like, again, with Pluto and Aquarius, I think one of the biggest risks we will take is exposure. Saying something and people telling you you're stupid, starting a business and being wrong about it, dating a person who you're afraid other people will judge you for. Like, these are the types of fears that we have to face. So that is the risk you need to take right here, especially with the Hermit. It's like saying something, you need to shine your inner light, but you also need to believe that you are worthy of shining your inner light and not worry about, like, people judging you. They won't. It's just an imaginary fear, right? With the Two of Cups, you have the Ace of Swords. Could be communication coming in from a person. So if you do want love, I do feel this could be communication. Could also be a victory. With the Nine of Cups, you have the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is really, really good. So this could be a lot of financial abundance coming into your life. It could also be you finding love. So if you want love, Ten of Pentacles to me is the best love card in the deck. Yes, I know that it's a Pentacle card, but the Ten of Pentacles is like everything you want and desire in your life. One thing I will say, though, is that I believe everyone's working on this right now, Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles, building, leaving a legacy. And with all the energy in Taurus, Jupiter, Uranus, pretty much everyone is going to want to focus on building and leaving a legacy at this time. Let's see. With the Four of Pentacles, you have the Four of Pentacles. So basically the universe saying I meant what I said. What's interesting is you have the Four of Pentacles twice, and then you have the Four of Swords right here. So I do feel for some of you, you could be going through a healing or some sort of, kind of like recovery period here. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this brown bear spirit says take time out. So any resting, relaxing, recovering, Four of Swords twice that you need to do, I would do it. You have the swan spirit. It says time for a deep dive. Yes, definitely. Anything, as I said at the beginning of the reading, I feel you need to dive deep into something that is exciting you right now. And things that are not exciting you, I would not do those things because you're probably just, it'll just be a struggle. You will feel like you are stuck in the mud. You will feel like you are not moving forward. So I think the best way to create progress right now is to do the things that bring you joy, happiness, all that other good stuff. You have the Four of Swords, the Temperance card, and the Five of Swords. So I do feel, number one, that some of you could be healing from a past heartbreak, and that could be what's going on here. For others, I kind of feel like there's, for most of you, I feel this is a risk. Like I said, the risk of exposure, the risk of saying something being wrong, the risk of, writing that novel that's inside your head and being wrong or whatever. So I feel a lot of you really need to face that fear. You have the Temperance card here. Pretty crazy. I'm pretty sure that almost every single person so far, and I'm almost done with these readings, has had the Temperance card for the monthly bonus. And the Temperance card really just reminds us that we have the power to turn one thing into another. On a very down and dirty level, that's what I feel like it's saying. It's just saying like, hey, if something isn't working out, you have the power to change that. And I feel like you need to believe that. You also have the Four of Swords. Four of Swords is a card of blessings. There's normally a person that's in the stained glass window on the Four of Swords, and that person is receiving blessings from another person. So I feel for a lot of you that you could be receiving blessings from a person. You could be literally receiving blessings from a person. Like this right here looks like a raise or promotion to me, going from Hermit to the Ten of Pentacles, Nine of Cups to the Four of Swords. Especially showing up in the good stuff. For others, I feel like you're just receiving blessings that you have been hoping or praying for. With the Four of Swords, you have the Page of Swords, a lot of undercover stuff going on here. This to me is really needing to be a detective, really needing to look into things, right? Page of Swords follows his curiosity. If he's interested in something, he learns more about it, and that's where he can find success. With the Temperance card, you have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is kind of another card of blessings. Normally the Hierophant is blessing the two initiates that are in front of him. So, in a lot of ways, I feel that you are receiving blessings. For some of you, it's like blessings from the universe that you're receiving, probably because you're living your potential. Again, I think when we don't live our potential and we're shrinking, the universe causes things to happen, right? Big problems cause big solutions. People always say to me, like, oh, I have this idea, but my life is starting to suck more. I'm like, yeah, probably because you're not calling anyone out, but probably because you're not maybe working towards this idea you have. So the universe is like, okay, we have to make their life harder because then they'll attract a big solution, and that big solution could be them actually getting started on whatever it is they've been thinking about starting. That's like the long and short of it. So I feel like you need to get moving here before that happens, before you end up in a squeeze. With the Five of Swords, you have the Seven of Wands. The more you believe that you can do something, the more likely it is that you will be successful. Nightingale, Seven of Wands is a card of conviction. It says when you know that you will be successful doing something, that is when you will truly be successful doing something. So you really have to believe deep down inside that you can be successful, and then you will be successful. Just that simple. So we're going to pull, sorry, I didn't want to do that. We're going to pull 5 main themes now. So what do you know? Your first card is a secrets card. This is actually a pretty good card. It's Jupiter and Scorpio. And it's not like secrets as in like, oh, you're not going to be able to discover something. It's a card that says look into mystery. And this, you are not the only sign. A bunch of signs this month have had this. There seems to be this energy of looking into mystery. I really feel the universe wants people to be curious about new, exciting things, just so that life can become new and exciting. Just that simple, right? Next, you have the eccentricity card. I feel like if you're attracting someone in love, you could be attracting someone eccentric, especially if it's a fire sign. I feel it could be someone who's a little bit different, or, it just has their own way of living, is what I would say. Next, you have this manipulation card. This is actually a good card here. And sorry, that was Venus in Scorpio, by the way. This is Jupiter in Scorpio. This is not a bad card either. It's a card of manipulating the energy. It's a card of like using your powers of manifestation, to attract the things that you want and desire in your life. Next, you have this order card. I would be careful of things being trying to make things be in a certain order. I would say there is this energy that is going around of perfection, where I think people are, kind of waiting for things to be perfect before they do something. And again, there is no such thing as perfection. The time is now. Nothing will ever be in the right order. So I feel if you can understand that, then just get started. You want this new chapter that you're stepping into. And yeah, you have this exaltation card. I'm telling you, right, it's like you have the universe's blessings on something here. You have the Hierophant, which is the universe. You have this exaltation card, which basically says you have the universe's blessing to, do something that you think is bigger than yourself. You have that nightingale spirit. So again, that nightingale is doing something that is, much bigger than itself. And I feel like you're doing something that is much bigger than you here, Libra. Very simple reading, very straightforward. Love it. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.